So good evening mga kabanat,
of the
narito
mass,
yung video ni
face
President
shield, and
Duterte dito
personal
sa kanyang ginawang talk to
protective
the people
equipment
kanyang
for
hapon,
healthcare workers.
kung saan binanggit niya dito yung
Ako ba,
mga kasalanan niya ni Drilon, involved niya ito
well,
sa mga
I
napulis
made this
at
guarantee
sinumbatan niya ito, magsingilan sila.
that these transactions
So
are legal,
yan ay medyo
there is no
maraming
wrongdoing,
hindi sang-ayon dyan
there is no crime
sa ganyang
involved here,
mga sinasabi dahil nga
that I am willing
parang
to
mga bata
resign
na nagsusumbatan.
kung may
Parang
corruption.
sinabi niya na, oh, ikaw nga,
Yan ang
nagnakaw
binigay ko.
nagnakaw
And I
din ako.
will do
Parang
it.
ganun. Hindi,
At
halimbawa
kung may
lang,
makita
hindi ko naman sinabi nagnakaw mga yan.
You know,
Pero
in March
parang
of
ganun
last
mga
year, we
bata.
imposed strict quarantine
So mga
protocol
kabanat, kayo nang maghumusga dito sa video
and
na ito.
lockdowns in Luzon
Talk to the people
as part
ni
of
President
response
Duterte
to
na
the
ginawa kanina.
COVID-19
At
pandemic.
yung mga banat
By
niya kay
first
Senador
week of
Gordon,
April, we have
Drilon,
had
at lahat ng nagdinig
an
doon sa
increasing number of cases
sa
of death,
Blue Ribbon
including
Committee.
our health
At
workers
sinabi
and
niya dito na tama
But then
yung ginawa ng mga
becoming
mga
dire
kaibigan niya, lalo
as
sila ni
we
Michael Ang,
also had
sila
very
ni
limited
Wang,
supplies
saka
of
Ong,
personal
yung mga
protective
Chinese ba,
equipment
Lao,
or
na
PPE
uminvolve dito sa
in our
Parmali
hospitals.
at itong
In fact,
PSDBM
kulang
na
kulang
siyang
supply
nag
ang capacity
pro ano
natin
nito,
at
na
that
procure
time in
sa
dealing with the
Parmali
virus was just
para mabigyan nga
almost
ng face mask at
really
mga
nil,
PPS in
but,
short. So panoorin niyo ito mga kabanat at kayo nang humusga, paki-comment sa baba kung anong masabi niyo dito sa
inadequate.
Talk to the People ni President Duterte.
At that
At
time, no
para
country was
makita
really
natin yung mga
prepared,
reaksyon nyo, i-comment nyo rin kung anong
just
masabi
like,
nyo sa kanyang Talk
any
to the People.
other,
Kailan tapusin nyo muna panood nito bago kayo mag-comment.
In a
So
pandemic,
maraming salamat.
about itong the procurement of the masks, face shields, and personal protective equipment for healthcare workers. Ako ba, well, I made this guarantee that these transactions are legal, that there is no wrongdoing, there is no crime involved here, that I am willing to resign kung may korupsyon. Yan ang binigay ko, and I will do it at kung may makita sila. You know, in March of last year, we imposed strict quarantine protocols and lockdowns in Luzon and as part of a response in the COVID-19 pandemic. By first week of April, we have had an increasing number of cases of deaths, which included our health workers and doctors. Back then, the situation was becoming dire as we also had very limited supplies of personal protective equipment or PPEs in our hospitals. In fact, kulang na kulang ang supply and ang capacity natin at that time in dealing with the virus was just almost not really nil, but almost, let me find the inadequate. Well, at that time that no country was really prepared, just like any other. In a pandemic, you are racing against time to save lives, quick to decisions and actions, and had to be made to be able to do this. Congress granted executive department special powers under Bayanihan 1. And the exercise of these powers, we procured a total of 288,000 PPEs in April 2020 from China through PSDBM and were transported to the country via C-130, PAL, and Cebu Pacific flights. Alam mo, ako na mismo, sabi ko nga, as I have stated for the nth time, I was also the one in the hurry. As a matter of fact, the number one person who was really insistent na ngayon, itong ongoing projects ng Congress, sabi naman Commission of Audit, si Michael Aguinaldo himself clarified that the findings of the auditing team that attend to the Department of Budget and Management Procurement Service pertain to the inventory management and not to the alleged overpricing of the medical supplies of the fight against COVID-19. The findings of the auditing that handles PSDBM really pertain more to the inventory management and not overpricing, Michael said during the Senate inquiry. To further accelerate the positioning of the PPS and critical supplies to strategic areas, BRP Bacolod declaring a total of 200,000 PPS departed from China on May 1, 2020 bound for Davao City. The PPS are full piece sets including the now subject face mask and face shields, many of which are allocated for all government hospitals and other hospitals with COVID-19 patients and laboratories. Again, these are meant to our healthcare workers and not for the general public. Hindi ito pambigay sa mga in general kung sino-sino lang. As we replenish our stocks of mid-May 2020, we were able to distribute PPEs to a total of 699 hospitals, irrespective of whether government or private hospital. In the meantime, nag-usap kami I had a chance to have a talk here with Senator Soto. Binabanggit kasi niya, sabi niya, ako I agree that inconvenient masyado itong mask. Is there a way that we can do away with it? Sabi ko, ako gusto ko. I said because it is very inconvenient and it really does not make you in proper equality, whatever, if there is something hanging in front of your face. Nung sinabi ko, pabor ako, pero nung right after that, as prudence would dictate, I consulted the medical sector, yung mga scientists. And they said that, totoo, it is not really an answer-all solution. But it can prevent, at least with the mask, a little of the average protection. And when they mentioned to me the new variant data entering the country, I got scared. So, binalik ko yung there was no order yet, but I never really went to order the doing away with the mask. Ngayon, binalik ko yan. Sabi ko with the coming of COVID-19, sabi ko, if it can add a little more protection, so mas mabuti na lang niya, it's a little bit convenience, but it could mean life and death for a person, for a citizen of this country. So binalik ko. So ako na yung may order na ibalik, na magsuot talaga. But what was the order of sa DOH nung nag-meeting tayo? Sabi ko, ibalik ko kasi I said, taking the view from the medical people, sabi nila, it can increase the average of protection. So, yun lang ang ito namang sabi ni Aguinaldo, dalawa yun eh. Itong Congress, itong maldito talaga to. They started first with, there are two issues. They started with the unspent billions. Tapos sabi nyo, wala namang nakuha kasi unspent ka, nandyan. But they are asking si Duque kung bakit hanggang ngayon hindi pa nagastos. I mean, you do not run the Department of Health by legislation. Yun ang problema sa kanila. So, wala yun. Kasi huwag mong pasinin yan. If you have a program for the remaining amounts in your department, do it. Do not listen to Congress, they're all bullshit. Wala pang ano lang yan, pang istorbo lang yung yawa na yan. Dito naman sa kabila, dito ko tinaya ang pangalan ko. Kasi tinanong ko talaga yung mga tao. The Commission on Audit, Chairman Aguinaldo himself clarified that the findings of the auditing team that handled the Department of Budget and Management Procurement Service pertain to the inventory management and not to the alleged overpricing of the medical supplies to fight against COVID. Bakit sila maggawa ng inventory na when the program is going on? I think they should let Secretary Duque finish his job, then conduct the inventory of what is left or what is missing, and that is the time that you make, the findings of the auditing that handled PSBM really pertain more to inventory management and not the overpricing, Aguinaldo said during the Senate inquiry on Tuesday. Dito ko nga tinaya eh. Dito ko sinabi na mag-resign ako kung merong corruption dyan. Ora mismo, bababa ako. Nagsabi na walang anomalya sa disbursement at delivery ng items because it was accounted for. Ano ba ang inyong gusto mailisit? Ang agenda ng Blue Ribbon Committee, motu proprio investigation. The senators keep looking for the technical and financial requirements of Parmali. Wala ka na pakialam dyan. Parmali is really a Parmali corporation sa Singapore. Doon yung nag-provide. Ito si Michael Yang, whom I knew for the last 20 years na negosyante ng Davao. Siya yung inutusan ko initially noon nung I made contacts with the Chinese. Eh, siyempre may negosyo, nakikisali. Negosyante. Ano ba magawa mo? Ito na ngayon, ang ginaano nila, wala silang makita, yung Parmali. Yung Parmali, what is clear is that there was this contract, there was delivery, kumpleto lahat, specifications, as to quality, quantity, and all. Tapos, after delivery, bago pa nagbayad ang Pilipinas. So, ito mong anong gusto na, ito pa din si Drilon, he might want to explain his relationship with Janet Lim Napoles, since you want to discuss corruption and the use of people's money. And I can still remember that Miss Napoles tampered with billions of pesos. And how did you end up partying in Heritage Park in Taguig with Napoles and all people? Could you call that a perfect coincidence? You claim that you have only met Napoles 10 times, but the photos show your closeness. And is it true that Napoles contributed 5 million to your campaign? At ikaw pa rin ang kasama mo sa Senado ang nagsabi na may binigay ay kapalit. So what did you give in return? since you have proclaimed yourself and your friends there in the Senate as anti-corruption stars, please enlighten Mr. Senator. Can you explain to the Filipinos your connection with former Mayor Jed Mabilog and General Garbo? Aren't they both connected in the illegal drug trade? Yung mga tao ninyo noon sa panahon ninyo. And since we are talking about Iloilo, can you also tell us who owns the biggest mall in Iloilo City and who brokered the sale of the old Iloilo City Airport to Megaworld? We are just curious, Mr. Senator. Ito naman si Gordon. Itong si Gordon, malalim itong away namin. Talaga mag-aaway kami nitong buang na ito. He claims that the Red Cross is totally independent of an adjunct independent from the government, national or local. Tapos sabi niya, because I'm looking for the annual reports in the local sa Red Cross, creating the Red Cross. The Red Cross must submit to the President an annual report. Since then, wala akong natanggap. 6 na taon na ako, Mr. Senator Gordon. Nasaan na ang report? And why would you say now that the government of the Republic of the Philippines cannot conduct an audit sa Red Cross because it is totally independent? If it is totally independent, you are correct. But it is not totally independent because you have been receiving aid, financial aid, from the Republic of the Philippines. At ikaga nga, nagkukuha ka pa dyan sa PCSO ng pera. Now, any money belonging to the government of the Republic of the Philippines given to an agency, whatever be the nature, if you're operating here and you receive the money and spend it, you are accountable to the government, and therefore an audit is in order. So in the coming days, I will write you a letter to open up your records, because I will also request Aguinaldo, and I am sure he knows his business, that there is money in Red Cross belonging to the government which he has to look into. Ngayon, kung ayaw mo, mapipilitan akong totally disassociate with you. I will stop government, the national government and all, from having transaction with you in any manner. Wala akong pakialam, hindi ako magbigay ng pera sa iyo. Saka, as far as I am concerned, Red Cross does not exist. And you can create a controversy there or a crisis. I do not mind, because I said I am on the right track. Either you submit an auditing procedure or we quarrel. Pag mag-quarrel, do your worst because I will do mine. Mahirap yung sabihin mo na. At saka, Mr. Senator Gordon, kilala mo ba ito si Glenn Tan ng Subic? Do you know him? because he knows you very well. Well enough to talk about you. Kumusta ito si Gwendolyn Pang? That lady from Sulu na nag-join sa Red Cross. Pakisagot lang nito.
So mga
About
kabanat,
ito,
yan
the
ang
procurement
diskusyon
of
ni
the mask,
President
face
Duterte
shields,
at
and personal
comment sa baba. Anong masabi
protective
niyo sa kanyang
equipment
diskusyon
for
na
healthcare
medyo
workers.
kumakati yung ulo ko
Ako ba?
pagka talagang inunawa ko yung kanilang laro
Well, I
dito sa
made this
Lolo.
guarantee
Wala na, di ako naniwala
that these
na
transactions are
sa
legal.
palagay ko, lahat naman siguro ng
There
face shield
is
na
no
binili ay
wrongdoing.
dumating sa akin ng
There is
pananaw.
no crime
Nandiyan naman.
involved here.
Ang mali lang doon,
That I am willing
may
to
pinaburan.
resign.
bakit hindi nila tinulungan
my
yung mga Pinoy
corruption.
businessman? Yun ang masakit
Yan
sa akin
ang
na hindi ko
binigay
matanggap.
ko.
Hindi ko,
And I
ayoko
will
kasi yung
do it.
style na
At kung may makita
mayroon naman
sila.
tayong kakayahan.
You know, in March of last
Bakit
year, we
hindi
imposed
nyo
strict
tulungan?
quarantine protocols.
Ayaw nyo tulungan itong ating mga
And
kababayan na
lockdowns in
at least
Luzon
kumita man lang sa
as
sariling
part
atin.
of our response in the COVID-19
Yung pinayaman nila, yung taga-ibang
pandemic.
bansa, yung may
The first
oportunidad
week of
na
April,
kumita
we
ng malaki,
had
yung ibang tao, kaysa sarili natin. Yan ay
increasing
masakit sa akin. Hindi ko
number of
talaga
cases
matanggap
of
ng ganong
deaths
katuwiran.
included
Yan
our
ay,
health
hindi ko
workers.
sinasabi na mayroong, hindi ko rin nasabi, kahit
Back
doon
then, the
kagabi,
situation was
na
becoming
pinanood ko rin sa
dire.
hearing, di ba? Parang wala akong nakita na halimbawa may ni ano din. Kumbaga, itong sila nilaw, parang sabihin natin, wala, hindi pa naman approve talaga. Wala silang ninakaw, halimbawa lang. Pero, yung paraan ng style nila, may pinaburan,
Ang capacity natin.
yun ang pinakamasakit din eh. Hindi ko matanggap talaga na yung sariling atin, initsapuera nila, di ba? Yan ay dapat baguhin sa sistema natin. Suportahan natin ang sariling atin. Kung kulang, dagdagan nyo. Para, yan ang reality. Kaya ang bansa natin hindi umaangat-angat sa larangan ng business. Puro tayo empleyado. Kumbaga, ang bansa natin mostly ay alipin ng taga-ibang bansa. Kahit sa ating bansa, may mga malalaking business dito, puro mga in-check. Kasi yung Pinoy, mga walang kwenta, hindi marunong tumingin sa sariling atin eh. Tingnan mo yung namumuno sa atin. Yan ang realidad na hindi ko matanggap sa isang taong namumuno na yung tayo may kakayahan naman, hindi tinutulungan. At bagkos yung ibang bansa ay yun ang tinutulungan para yun bang kumbaga yung binigyan pa ng pagkakataon yung ibang bansa na yumaman kaysa sariling atin. Yun ang so mga kabanat, may video sanang karugtong nito, no? Ay kaso lang patungkol ito sa IBM na gamot. May konting good news din. Pero ang gagawin ko, doon ko i-upload sa Voice of Netizen. I-share ko na lang dito. Sana panoorin nyo mamaya. Tatapos na to, i-create ko na. Tapos i-upload ko doon. Napakaganda yung topic doon. At yun ang talaga nakisabay na sila. Kasi alam mo, ano karaming bansa mga kabanat ang nag-clinical trial sa gamot na yan. Mapanood yun mamaya. So abangan nyo. I-end ko na ito para masunod na natin.